Hi everyone, good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, depending on where you're watching from. If you're a woman in business, you want to showcase your business, you're looking for a way to expand the exposure and visibility and get more visibility for your business, this is the show for you. Every Woman TV is created for you, the woman in business. So please do contact us. I am passionate about helping women gain visibility for their businesses. So my name is Carol Azams. I am the host, the producer, and the founder of Every Woman TV. We are coming to you on Faith World TV, Sky Channel 589, and we're going to be on from 8 a.m. every single Friday. With me today, I have three very amazing women who are here to talk about their business, to promote their business, to showcase and let you know what they have to offer to you, the audience, and the general public. However, this particular episode is about introduction. I want to introduce these three women to you and let them tell you about themselves and what they do. In subsequent editions, they will be able to do perhaps some demonstrations and go deep into explaining the things that they do for their businesses. So I have with me Sheila Balgobin, also known as the Dream Decipherer, Rachel Claire Fansworth, who is a trauma releasing expert, and I also have Amanda Kunkel, who calls herself the Universe Liaison. So welcome my amazing guests to the Every Woman TV. I'm going to start with you, Amanda. Tell us all about yourself and where you are from.
Hi, Carol. My name's Amanda Kunkel. I am the Universe Liaison based in central Pennsylvania in the United States. Thankfully, because of our technology, I get to meet mainly with clients via Zoom. I was on Zoom years ago before it was cool. When I made that decision to see clients virtually, it allowed me to be able to reach more people throughout the entire world. Now, as the world is opening back up after 2 years of COVID-19, I have started hosting and going to a couple live events. So that is something possibly on the docket for further coming this year and in the future. As a universe liaison, I connect high achieving women to the universe. The universe is all about your heart center, right? It's that center of pure love. You see, you, the universe, made all of this together before you were born. That includes what I refer to as the universe map. Those are the exact steps to your success because they look different than anyone else. The universe comes with the most sophisticated GPS system. So no matter what's going on around you in the world or what happens in your life, it is constantly recalculating to keep you on that universe map, which is the fastest and easiest way to that success. You get to decide what your success is. I like to decide what success is based on desire. Because the more you desire something, the more that you open to receive the desire.
What kind of challenges did you face and how did you overcome them?
The challenges that I have faced and how I overcame them are sort of like twofold. So I had the BS in my life, and then I had the BS in the business world. So the BS in my life, I have come from a very abusive, neglected environment. I have been homeless. I have been hungry, right? I haven't known how I was going to pay for even a pair of shoes, walking around with with holes in my shoes, right? These patterns kept playing themselves out for many, many years in my life until, of course, I shifted them. Those were their own setbacks. And then I got really sick. I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's hypothyroidism several years ago, was in bed for years, had to take my business down part-time. It is the reason why my business is set up that I don't work that much. The transformational shifts that I offer require me to show up in such a clean container being fully available, allowing the universe to move to and through me at a velocity which just touches but shifts others. That I need 2.5 times of downtime. Whatever time I invest in my business, I need 2.5 times of that in downtime for me. Sleeping, going out and seeing the horses, talking to friends, relaxing, letting the wind blow on my face. Because that's what my body needs. My body taught me that. Those personal challenges have allowed me to shine at what I do, to really understand other people's experiences and to help them see through and know that there is that other side, there is that other light. Now in business, some of the challenges I faced, I started out talking about the youth one. When I was in business management at 19, oh my gosh, people would be like, no, I need to speak to the manager. And I'm like, I am the manager. They're like, no, you're not. You're a child. You look like you're 15. I get that now. It's something I really faced. And it's something that my ideas were always, especially as a blonde, I have a higher voice. I like to talk a lot. I'm personal. My hair might be dyed now, but this is how it has naturally looked until I was in my early 30s. I wasn't taking it seriously. And I knew the answers to things. This is what I do, right? But I couldn't really necessarily tell board members at that time, district managers, company CEOs. Now I have no problem. But back when I was learning, I didn't have that confidence. And so I really kind of came up against being a woman. I came up against not being taken seriously, as being seen as more of like somebody that was cute, that should be really good in customer service. I'm really good with the customers. That woman, she just kind of knows what they need. And so there wasn't really a fight for me there. It was a deepening of my expertise and my confidence in myself and the ability of what I do that helped me shift past that.
How can people get in touch with you?
My website is amandakunkel.com. My email is on there, amanda@amandakunkel.com. Look forward to seeing you on different social medias. And as always, sending you lots of love. Bye.
Oh, hi Sheila. I'm very excited to have you on EveryWoman TV. Welcome on the show. Please take a moment to tell our viewers who you are, where you're from, and what is it that you do for a living.
Hi, Carol. Thanks so much for having me here. I'm looking forward to being able to share with you and your audience. I'm originally from New York, but I have been living here in London for about the last 24 years. And the reason why I'm here is because many years ago, I met a guy. We came together, went apart, and following a series of dreams, I actually ended up coming to London and getting married. He was my second husband, and I met him before I met the first husband. So there you go. I'm a New Yorker. I'm in a hurry. I am a sleep and dream coach, and I specialize in dream interpretation, which is my gift. And I'm also a mental fitness coach, which works on people's mindsets.
How did you become an entrepreneur?
I think I've always was destined to be a small business owner, an entrepreneur. My father rightly guessed how I would be and named me his little maverick at birth. Now, if you know anything about mavericks are these wild horses that are unbreakable and untamable. They do their own thing no matter what you do. And that pretty much sums me up. I'm a bit of a maverick, determined to do my own thing because doing anything else just makes me unhappy. But I didn't come by it naturally. I was a banker for many years. I was a broadcaster. I was a paralegal. So I've had various careers during the course of my life. But the one common thread throughout my life had always been healing work from the time I was a child. So I finally became qualified. My first qualification as a reflexologist in 1995, and have acquired various other therapies and training since then. But the reason I think why I ended up becoming an entrepreneur is because, like I said, I'm an individualist and need to do my own thing. And that's what my heart called for. I wasn't really happy being a banker, though I made good money. I worked as a therapist for many years with a small charity that delivered complementary therapies here in London. But even then, as an independent contractor, if you will, for this charity, I felt the need to strike out on my own, which is what I actually did in 2012, I think it was. So I've been being on my journey as an entrepreneur since 2012, and have gone, I think, from strength to strength. It's really tapping into who I am and what I can present to the world.
Tell me about some of the challenges and how you overcame them.
Oh, challenges. My goodness. I've faced all kinds of challenges. For one thing, just being someone who is gifted with the ability to understand and interpret dreams already put me outside of the normal range of acceptable professions. But now we're in the age of Aquarius, you see. So the the times have actually caught up with me. And I'm right in there with other spiritually based therapies and perspectives. But being in an unusual niche had been an issue. It no longer is. Being someone with little in the way of financial resources at times was also an issue, and visibility. That was the most important thing. So I'm so glad to be here to give myself that much more visibility, which is growing, thankfully. As for overcoming those challenges, it was about being faithful to my vision. I knew what was in me to do. I knew that if I kept knocking on the door, it would open, and it has. And I was always willing to be able to extend a hand to others so that they in turn would extend their hand to me. And I think that that's the most important thing, is to develop a wide range of affiliates, associates, friends, colleagues that can give you a broader perspective and perhaps advice, especially if they've been down the road or a similar road to my own. I have lots of mentors in different areas. I work with coaches who coach me so that I can be the best that I can be. You always have to be learning. You always have to be improving. You can't just be a one-trick horse. You have to diversify. And as a former banker, I understand diversification very well.
How can people get in touch with you?
If people are interested in finding out more about the work that I do, whether with working with dreams, which will be a part of the mental fitness training that I do, or want to learn more specifically about what mental fitness is and how it works, I can be reached at by email at Sheila, SHEILA, at thedreamdetective, all one word, .me, M-E. You can also have a look at my website, which is www.SheilaBalgobin, that's BALGOBIN, Sheila Balgobin, all one word, .com. But if you go on in social media, you can go on Instagram, you can go on LinkedIn, you can go on Facebook and look up The Dream Decipherer. You will find me. I do hope that people will reach out. I offer a free 15-minute assessment, whether it be about around sleep or if you have a dream and would like some orientation as to how to approach the dream and draw out what I call the gold in the gobbledygook. Thanks again, Carol, for having me here. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to working with EveryWoman TV.
Rachel, I am so excited to have you on EveryWoman TV. Please take a moment to tell our viewers what you do and where you're from.
Hi, thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm a trauma releasing expert specialising in releasing anxiety and autoimmune disease by working with the subconscious mind. I'm a co-author of 2 best-selling books as well, The Power of Reinvention and Treasure. And I'm a big believer in the mantra that life is for living and not therapy. And my clients prove that over and over as well.
So you are a trauma releasing expert. I'm guessing that you must have gone through some kind of training to qualify in order for you to provide these services that you do now. Can you tell us about that?
That's a good question. I started something, it was something that really inspired me to train in rapid transformational therapy. It was around May 2018, somewhere around there, and I got no idea why why it appealed really. It was just I was watching something and it was talking a lot about what the subconscious mind is, how the subconscious mind works, how you can make it work for you instead of against you, and it really grasped my attention. And then I realised that Marissa Peer trains people in this, and the more I was sort of drawn into it, the more I knew I needed to train. And I was already training in a program with hypnotherapy locally, but I knew I had to do both courses because it was just going over and over in my head. I've got to do this, but when? I've got to do this, but when? So I ended up doing 2 courses at the same time, which was difficult but manageable, and I made sure that it was just a passion. And this was the first time really that I'd had that passion. I didn't really know what I wanted to be when I grew up. You know, I worked in the bank for 18 years because that's what my parents sort of suggested that would be a really good job to do. And so it was when I was going through a marriage breakup and my children had decided to go and live with their dad that gave me that time to actually look at what I wanted. And that was really scary because I actually hadn't realised at the time that I was codependent and also in emotionally abusive relationships. So that is also something that rapid transformational therapy allowed me to see for myself and overcome it using the method as well. So it's been a big personal journey as well as helping my clients. So I actually trained in the method and qualified in the method actually in June 2018. And still not really sure what I was going to do with it. I just decided to file the certificate and wait and see. You know, I got no real plans. Only the universe had a big plan, I guess, because in October 2018, my daughter had been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease when she was a year old. So this was 14 years later. So we'd been doing all the things that we'd been told that we needed to do, like blood tests, self-injecting with methotrexate, all that stuff, doing the things that the doctors had suggested that we needed to do, lots of CT scans and all that sort of thing. And she'd been in drug-induced remission for 2 years at this point in October 2018. So they suggested that she came off the drugs and see how she went. Only 8 weeks in, she had a big flare up. Her joints were painful again. The autoimmune disease that she had was juvenile idiopathic arthritis. So that's juvenile is obviously children, idiopathic means no known cause, and arthritis is painful joints. So it was in her knees, predominantly her hips, her fingers, her wrists. And she came off those drugs, and 8 weeks in is when the flare-up began. And so they said she needed to go back on the drugs, maybe needed stronger ones this time. So I knew that rapid transformational therapy had helped people with physical conditions. But my stumbling block was that I didn't know that I could do that. It felt like a big thing. Yes, I can help somebody with anxiety, but autoimmune disease. That sounded like something way bigger than me. So I was talking to other people who'd also trained in the method, and one of them just said, well, I know Marissa says, you can help people usually in 1 to 3 sessions to overcome one issue. But that just felt like a real big deal. So one of them said, well, so what if it takes 50 sessions? Why not give it a go? So I thought, well, yeah, actually, she's my daughter. We can do more than one. We can do as many as it takes. If it takes 50, then that didn't seem so bad. It sort of broke it down into sort of more manageable things. So we decided to have a session together with no real expectations of what that was going to look like or feel like or what was going to come out of it. Only the thing was, in that one session, the first session that we had together, we got to her root cause. And for her, it was that she needed pain to be like everybody else. She was just a year old when she had all the symptoms initially. And so her subconscious mind had come up with this plan that she needed to have pain to be like everybody else. And I didn't understand what she meant to start with, because I said, well, who's your everybody? Because I'm not in pain. And she said, well, my brother and my cousins, because they'd all had pain of their own, even though they were better now. So her subconscious hadn't sort of released the pain. It was still going through all the autoimmune disease. But when she could understand where it came from and the fact that her pain wasn't helping anybody, she was able to release it. And she has been pain-free, symptom-free, medication-free since that session in October 2018. And the doctors agree as well. She's been signed off. She no longer needs to go to the hospital. She is a qualified hairdresser. She's able to stand up for long periods of time. She's able to cut people's hair. She's got the dexterity in her fingers that she wouldn't have had when that disease was raging through her. And her concentration is back as well, because the medication she was on gave her such a foggy brain that she just couldn't hold information all the time. Sometimes she could, sometimes she couldn't. But now she definitely can. And that is an amazing thing. So it's her story that really made me kind of get out my own way in order to help other people, because it made me understand that actually it really is true that emotional pain is lying behind the physical symptoms. And just together, we just need to go back to where it all began so that we can find out what that root cause is for you, so you can analyse and release it without countless sessions. And that just proves it over and over again.
How do you deal with trauma?
What I use is a method called hypnotherapy. And hypnotherapy is just about you being relaxed. And by being relaxed, it allows you to be more in your subconscious mind, which is your emotional part of your brain. It's the part that records everything like a DVD or hard drive. And so we just go back to those sessions, those scenes, those events that hurt you, because we've all had trauma. We've all had thousands of traumatic events. And that can be anything that hurt you. It doesn't have to be something really significant. As an adult, you might even think, why did I even believe that back then? But it can be anything, like when you're at school and a teacher perhaps says you're stupid. We take it on as a fact. We don't question, how dare you say that to me, or who do you think you are, or all that sort of thing. We just wear it as that must be true. And then that's that emotional pain that I'm not enough, I can't connect with the people, what I want isn't available. And they're the three things that are fundamentally wrong with us. We've all taken on those beliefs, so that somebody else has told us that and made us believe whatever. So it's those emotions that we have put to the event rather than the event itself that affects us. And that's what we can do, just go back to that root cause, to analyse it and release it, so that you can release that pain, release that emotion, find out what the role, function, purpose is behind the symptoms that you've got. And it really is that simple and so effective.
So how can people get in touch with you?
So yes, if anybody would like some more information, they can go on my website. It's www.wellnesswithrachel.co.uk. Rachel spelled Rachel. And you can email me too, which is rachel@wellnesswithrachel.co.uk. So thank you very much for inviting me, Carol. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
It's been a great pleasure having all three of you with me on this first edition of the EveryWoman TV. This is just the beginning, and I'm looking forward to have many more women join us in subsequent episodes. I want to take the opportunity to briefly say thank you to Rachel for mentioning treasure, something I did during the COVID. I tried to reach out to women from all over the world, and I urged them to talk about their stories, to share their experiences about how they were all affected, and impacted by the COVID itself and the restrictions around them. The responses were great, amazing. I received so many stories from women all over the world. I happen to be a book publisher as well as a published author myself, and I published this book. So if you'll be interested to get a copy, head on to my website, skylinebureau.com. In the meantime, I'm going to take this opportunity to say thank you, massive thank you to our viewers. If you're a woman and you're in business and you're looking for ways to reach out to more people, to gain more clients, to find more customers, this is the right place to be. So please go to my website and sign up there, and you could see yourself here the next time with me. I look forward to promoting you on this platform. I hope that you can join us again next week. Until then, it's goodbye from me.